All right, a well-known American conservative activist and staunch ally of U.S. President Donald Trump, Charlie Kirk, was fatally shot while addressing an audience at a Utah Valley University in Orem. Kirk was 31, was addressing an outdoor crowd of roughly 3,000 people at the first of at least 15 scheduled stops on a nationwide tour organized by Turning Point USA. Videos taken around the time of the incident paint a picture of what exactly happened. While Kirk was taking questions from the audience, a single gunshot rang out from somewhere on campus, and Kirk was then seen clutching his neck and collapsing from his chair with blood gushing from the wound in his neck. He was rushed to a nearby hospital where he later died. Two individuals were briefly detained in connection with the shooting but were released after questioning, with authorities confirming they were not linked to the crime. The shooter remains at large at this point in time, and a manhunt involving multiple law enforcement agencies, including the FBI, is ongoing. Moments after the shooting, a video captured from inside a nearby building at 2 seconds in shows an individual running across the roof of the Losi Center, a campus building about 200 yards from the event. A video shot from a different angle shows what appears to be an individual wearing dark clothing on top of the Losi Center before the shooting took place. Well, before we begin this debate, we also have some breaking news trickling in that FBI has said that the weapon has been found, but the gunman remains at large after Charlie Kirk was killed. And he also, in fact, mentioned that the shooter's movements were tracked as he moved onto the campus, up a stairwell and onto the roof, and subsequently fled into a neighborhood which is being searched at this point in time. We'll talk about this and what's going on in the United States at this point in time with our guest. Joining us up front on the show is Mr. Abhijit Iyer-Mitra, political analyst, Ambassador Pradeep Kapoor, former diplomat, with us on the show as well. Professor Madhav Nalapat, editorial director of the Sunday Guardian, also joins us. Mr. Scott Faulkner, head of the Eagle Enterprises security firm from Washington, D.C. is here with us as well. Mr. Andrew Latham, professor of international relations, is joining us from Minneapolis in the United States. And last but not the least, Major General Sudhakar G, senior geopolitical and strategic defense expert, with us on the program as well. Abhijit, I'll begin with you. What do you think has happened here? You know, a couple of days ago, I saw on a number of social media platforms, a young Ukrainian girl was stabbed for no reason, and that also became quite a furor in the United States. But this man was an open debater. He would invite students, and other people to express their differences, and he would try and correct them and basically have a conversation with them. It seems to me that having a different opinion in the United States is inviting violence. What are we looking at here?
The murder of Irina Zerenska on the metro was a different thing. That tells you a lot about the judge who does not even apparently have a law degree. It's emerged, who was made a judge entirely for political reasons and put a known offender, a repeat offender, a 14-time offender back on the streets. This is different. This looks like it was a mission. The way in which the shooter has been able to evade security, the FBI is still searching for him, it shows that there was a great deal of planning that went into this. But this is how the left operates politics. We need to understand this. They first demonize you and then they normalize the killing. We are seeing videos of interviews of university students who are literally celebrating. There were news studios that broke out into cheers once Trump announced that Charlie Kirk was in fact pronounced dead. They spent 10 years more calling people Nazis, calling them mass murderers, calling them genocidaires, etc., etc., etc. What did you think was going to happen after all of this? Uh, the issue is the left always normalizes violence on its side. You look at Mao Zedong, he killed 10 times the number of, 7 to 10 times the number of Chinese citizens that the Japanese army ever did. Do you ever see that being condemned? Che Guevara was a psychopathic mass murderer. He's celebrated by every left movement. Stalin killed more Russians than the German army did. Do you ever see them condemning him? No. They're very carefully choreographed their image. This is what they do. They do this in every geography. They do this across geographies, across ethnicities, across the board. What you're seeing is basically the fight back of the left to losing the last presidential election. And they will do it through any way they see fit.